Broadcasting for a worldwide audience.
Good morning. This is Swazzy. You're listening to Radio Lewes, and I'm here for Saturday Live. I just had my headphones up really, really loud. So that sounded so loud. I don't know if you heard my response there, but yes. Yeah, it's a bit loud. My voice is still a little bit croaky, so I'm going to... I've put loads of music for you, so you've got loads and loads of tunes. It's also a little bit snotty as well, so you're going to get a bit of the kind of autumnal effect. But this is the first show of September. Kids have gone back to school. We're all back into routine. Some people have got the boots and socks out of the cupboard. I moved all of my boots and shoes into their own dedicated shoe museum a few months ago. Circumstances changed. I had a wardrobe available and I filled it with my shoes. I now call it the Shoe Museum. So my boots are now all on display and available at any opportunity. But we're still in that changeable season, aren't we? In that, not quite sure whether it's going to be sunny or cold, whether it's going to rain or whether it's going to do everything in one day. So today I have my gold shoes on. I have my party shoes on. There are going to be some party tracks. There's going to be some boogieing around the studio. So I've got my cup of tea, got my bottle of water, got my playlist, got my list of things I'm going to talk to you about. Let me share social media links right at the start. So if you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm at Swazzy Rogers. If you want to follow me on Instagram, at Swazzy Rogers as well. That's Rogers with a D. You can follow me on Facebook, Swazzy Radio DJ. You can also see on Facebook I share tracks and videos and just fun stuff that I like on my Facebook page. So I put stuff on there that I think you'll like. And on Thursday I shared a song, an Everything But the Girls song, but it was a cover of a Rod Stewart song. So I thought, this is interesting. Now, I've done a show about covers. I've done more than one show about covers. So why not just do a show about the artists who did the song originally? So I know it's a little bit convoluted of an explanation, but actually it's the guys that did the song first, even though you might know the cover better. So while Everything But the Girl did an absolutely stunning version of this song, I also love the Rod Stewart one. So that's what we'll start the show with.
Tell by your eyes that you've probably been crying forever. And the stars in the sky don't mean nothing to you, they're a mirror. Talk about it, how you broke my heart. If I stay here just a little bit longer, if I stay here, won't you listen to my heart? Stand all alone, will the shadow hide the color of my heart? Blue for the tears, black for the night's fears. The stars in the sky don't mean nothing to you, they're a mirror. Just a little bit longer. If I stay here, won't you listen to my heart? Oh, my heart. talk about it, how you broke this old heart. If I stay here just a little bit longer, if I stay here, won't you listen to my heart? Oh, my heart. My heart. Oh, my heart.
Now, I wouldn't say I was a Rod Stewart fan, but I do like his voice. I don't necessarily like a lot of his stuff, but I do like his voice, and that's a lovely song, isn't it? Beautiful. So, yeah, I just thought I'd start with that. So the only rhyme or reason to today is just artists who did the song originally, even if they're not best known for it. And there's one very, very famous example of that, which I will play you later on. So you'll get to hear about it. So we were in Lewes last weekend. So I came and did the show in the morning, went back up to London, went to the hairdressers, had my hair cut. Thank you very much. Yes, it does look very nice. And then came back down again in the evening with my boys. So we had a lovely morning at Pell's on Sunday morning. It was absolutely beautiful. No one ever told me how cold the water is in Pell's. Damn you all. How could you not tell me? It's freezing. Good grief. There were kids there who had wetsuits on, and I thought, right, next time we come, I'm going to bring the kids' wetsuits. Swimming wetsuits, though, not those floaty things that you use for surfing. Oh, goodness me, it was cold. I mean, I don't mind because I have swum in the sea, but for the kids it was much too cold, and certainly my youngest just kept going, no, Mummy, it's too cold, it's too cold. But they did enjoy sitting on the side, wrapped up in their towels, drinking slushies. Ironically, oh, it's too cold, Mummy, we'd love a slush, please. So, yes, that was fantastic. We had a lovely time at Pell's. Thank you very much to the guys there who looked after us so beautifully. And it was lovely and quiet, actually. We got there dead on 10 o'clock. Met lovely Ben and Dawn, fellow presenters here, and took their dogs for a walk in the morning just before Pell's opened. So we had a little trot around with Maddie and Phoebe, and then we went and had a swim. And then, as I've been telling you about, we did the peer-to-peer beach clean. So Peer-to-Peer are an organisation who kind of do this beach cleaning and try to encourage people to get involved in that kind of socially, ecologically responsible activity. So we got there and we got issued with litter pickers, Bluetooth headphones, and gloves if we wanted them, and brought our own bags, and just proceeded to go along and litter pick on the beach. And I have to say, my sons were amazing. They can spot litter from a mile off. Maybe not a mile, but they certainly have a magpie-like skill at spotting litter, so they did really well. And it was lovely because when we were there, we got to see the guys from Lush, people from Extinction Rebellion. As a thank you for taking part, we all got given a metal straw. So we've now got metal straws, so we don't have to use reusable ones anymore. And it was just a really good thing to do. You'll probably remember I was a little bit worried that, I was a bit cynical about whether or not the kids would actually want to participate. But when we got there, they thoroughly enjoyed it. And they really enjoyed kind of trying to find things to pick up. And even afterwards, after we'd finished doing the litter pick, my son kept saying, Mummy, rubbish. I said, OK, we're not picking it up now because we're finished. But that was great. And then we spent the rest of the afternoon in Brighton and had great fun, actually. It was really nice to do. So I was really glad that we'd actually made the decision to come down and stay, actually. It was great. So We would have stayed on the Monday, except my son had a swim course, but it was fine because we did a fair bit of swimming anyway, so it wasn't too bad. So I've got loads of stuff to tell you about today, and lots of music to play you. So I'm trying to spread it out a little bit, because sometimes I tend to kind of clump it all together at the beginning. So I'm going to try and spread it out a bit, and also save my voice. This is the other artist who I think so many people cover Stevie Wonder songs. That sometimes you get to know the covers better than you know the Stevie Wonder version. And I think he's just incredible, the range of music that he's done. But this one, I've shared this one on my Swazi DJ page. So if you want to see a very early, young Stevie Wonder clip of him performing this, I love how this is just purely, this is so funk, this song. I heard this first when the Red Hot Chili Peppers performed it. I saw the Red Hot Chili Peppers perform live many times. And I never knew this was a Stevie Wonder song. How remiss of me not to know this. I mean, bear in mind, this was the kind of, early 90s. So I did know Stevie Wonder, but I didn't know this was one of his. And I thought it makes perfect sense for, Saturday morning, bit of funk. Let's go for higher ground. Just had a little cough there. That just ended, didn't it? It wasn't supposed to end like that. I'm sure it wasn't supposed to end quite as suddenly as that. But yes, so I just had to have a little cough off air. Cough off air. Cough off air. Cough off air. Oh dear. Thank you, John, who's listening, who told me that it all sounds good. That's fantastic. Always good to know that things sound okay, and that you can hear me. I mean, that's the main thing. You can hear me. Nothing worse than coming in and sort of chattering away and then realising that no one can hear you. So the fun and exciting thing to tell you about this weekend. I mean, there's more than one exciting thing to tell you about, obvs. But I thought you might like to know about the opening of the Unity Centre, which is at the Old Turkish Baths. So this is a refurbishment that's taken place, and it's been opened this weekend. It's an open weekend. Sorry, I'm kind of repeating myself a little bit. Do apologise. So the Unity Centre is offering all sorts of lovely treatments and is open as a kind of well-being centre. I mean, well-being centre is often one of those terms that's used too much. But the Unity Centre is in the Old Turkish Baths. They're open this weekend for all sorts of lovely things to try. It's at Friars Walk. And it's a yoga, wellbeing and art centre. They have a cafe called Soul Soup. They run yoga classes. They've got a flotation pool, sauna, treatment room, and a small gallery of art and a few health-related products. I really love the sound of the flotation pool. Now, I won't have time to go today because I have to be somewhere this afternoon, but I am definitely going to go and try the flotation pool. It sounds incredible. It just looks so good. It looks beautiful. I'm gutted because I had intended to come down last night for the official opening and I didn't get down here, partly because this week has kind of run away from me. And also towards the end of the week, I was starting to flag a bit. I think the kids going back to school has really finished me off. But I would love to go and try the Unity Centre because it looks so beautiful. I mean, it is stunning. They've done an amazing refurbishment with it. I don't know what it looked like before, I'll be honest with you, but it looks beautiful. And they've got the flotation pool looks amazing. I mean, all of it looks amazing, but I definitely think I'm going to try and get down there and have a go at something there. So I'm not quite sure how it works this weekend. I think you can go and just try things for free and go along from 10 till this evening, actually. So it's open now. Actually, let me just do that again because I just had that there. Right. Come and visit us at the Old Turkish Baths, 35 Friars Walk, Lewes, from 6 p.m. on Friday the 6th. That was yesterday. So that was the opening ceremony. So there are free taster classes, tours of the facilities and food by Soul Soup all weekend. Plus opening week offers not to be missed. So you come along. I'm trying to get it to do it, but the thing keeps flashing up there. So free taster classes 10 till 4 today and 10 till 2 tomorrow. So it says that places are available on a first come first served basis on the day. We kindly request that each person only attends 2 classes per day, so everyone interested gets to do something. So kids' classes are between 10 and 12 each day, and there'll be live music at 7:30 this evening. Food and drinks will be served at the beautiful cafe Soul Soup. And there is opening week specials. So all Unity therapies are half price from the 9th to the 15th. All classes are £5 each. And all unlimited monthly class passes purchased during this week will get a free additional week, i.e. you get 5 weeks for the price of 4. That sounds incredible. You have to have a look at this. The website is being-in-unity.com and the flotation pool just looks beautiful. I'm so envious of anyone who gets to go today. I'm really tempted to try and find a way to get down there so that I can have a go at something. It looks so beautiful. I think it's going to be busy today and tomorrow. So if you can get down there, do have a look. It just looks so lovely. So they've got a sauna, a float pool and treatment rooms, which are open to view throughout the weekend. So I don't think you'll be able to do treatments, sauna and float pool, but you can have a go at classes. So you can try yoga and various other things. And it's part of a group, so they've got the Brighton studio as well as having the one that's the Unity Centre. So that sounds lovely. It's a not-for-profit, and what they've done is transformed the former Turkish baths into an inclusive centre for the community. We aim to serve the diverse needs and abilities through meditation, yoga, dance, art, music, theatre, therapy, healing and various related services and events. So get down there, have a go and let me know what you thought of it. In case you forgot, it's... My social media links are Swazi Rogers on Twitter, Swazi Rogers on Instagram. Send me a picky. If you get down there, send me a picky. It sounds wonderful. They're also going to have various events, and they're going to be telling you about those on their website. And they've got packages that you can buy. So you can buy a spa package, which is a full day, 9 till 4, which is on a Friday only, £140 per person or $250 for 2 people. A full day of ultimate indulgence for the body and liberation for the mind. 9 to 10:30 yoga, 10:30 to 11, smoothie hot drink in the cafe, 11 to 11:30 private sauna session, 12 till 1 lunch, 1 till 2 massage of choice, 2 to 3:15 private float pool and 3:30 to 4 afternoon tea and cake. Right, that's it. That is going on my Christmas list. I want the ultimate Unity yoga and spa package for Christmas. Thank you very much. There's also the Unity Unwind morning afternoon. That's £140 a person. A deeply relaxing half-day retreat, which includes a sauna session, a ritual treatment and a float pool session. And you can either do that in the morning or in the afternoon. A Unity detox morning, a half-day detox immersion to lift and rejuvenate with yoga, private sauna, healthy lunch and float pool, sauna and float, pregnancy package, all sorts of... This sounds incredible. I may just have to come down here and do that one of these days. I might tell you about this later, but I have actually booked another overnight stay, another mum's weekend away. Now, this is the song I was telling you about earlier. Lots of people know the cover of this and don't realise that this was the original. Now, you probably know that because you're very clever, and also because I've mentioned it before on a show I did about covers. But this song belongs to the Zootons, but it's now been claimed by Mark Ronson and Amy Winehouse, so everyone believes that Valerie is their song. But it was actually the Zootons that started it.
Well, sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the water, and I think of all the things what you do, and in my head I make a picture. 'Cause since I've come on home, well, my body's been a mess, and I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over and stop making a fool out of me? Why don't you come on over, Valerie? Valerie, did you have to go to jail? Put your house on up for sale? Did you get a good lawyer? I hope you didn't catch a tab. I hope you find the right man who'll fix it for you. Are you shopping anywhere? Change the color of your hair. Are you busy? And did you have to pay the fine? You were dodging all the time. Are you still busy? Yeah. 'Cause since I've come on home, well, my body's been a mess, and I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over and stop making a fool out of me? Why don't you come on over, Valerie? Valerie, Valerie, well, sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the water, what you do, and in my head I make a picture. Since I've come on home, well, my body's been a mess, and I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over and stop making a fool out of me? Why don't you come on over, Valerie? Valerie, Valerie, yeah, Valerie.
So I don't know whether or not you've heard that one recently. I certainly haven't heard it in a very long time. But the Zootons version was the one that Mark Ronson and Amy covered. So there you go. They did a very different version of it, obviously. It's a very, very different version. But, yeah. So, in case you didn't know that one. So I was telling you, I mentioned before that I'd got this ticket to see Eddie Izzard at Brighton at the Dome. He's doing a couple of nights at the Dome. He's also doing a night at Bexhill at De La Warr Pavilion. And I thought, well, I'll get the ticket and I'll see how it goes. Oh, thank you very much, Ben. I thought, I'll see how it goes. And I have actually managed to sort out childcare. So then I thought, well, I've got childcare. Why don't I just stay over? So this week I thought, right, I'll bite the bullet and I'll book myself somewhere to stay. So without wanting to jinx it, I think I've got myself a mum's night away. So I've got myself a nice hotel in Brighton and got my ticket for my show. Kids are being watched. So I'll be here in the morning to do the show. I'll hang out for the afternoon, maybe head over to Brighton, go to a nice veggie restaurant or something, go and see the show, and then, I don't know, Sunday morning may go for a run along the seafront. I like doing that. Although often I come back absolutely frozen, as it's always really cold whenever I stay in Brighton. So yeah, Mum's Weekend do it. I saw a meme on Facebook the other week, which was Mum Island, where you basically get to lie in bed and you get to finish a cup of tea. That's a mum's idea of heaven. So just booking a hotel and being able to sleep. I'm not looking, I don't need Magic Mike. I don't need, indulgence or posh dinners or anything. Just to be able to go to bed when I want, to be able to get up when I want, and to be left alone to drink a whole cup of tea. That'd be lovely, wouldn't it? That is my idea of indulgence. So yeah, without wanting to jinx it, I think I may well have done that. There were a couple of times last year where I had something lovely planned, where there was, a really nice hotel stay and a gig and a nice dinner, and it all fell apart kind of 2 days before. The friend that I was going to go away with basically just went, nah, not doing it. And it just kind of, it wrecked the mood. So I just thought, no, I'm not going to rely on anyone else to do it for me. I'm going to do it myself. So I have. So there you go. And that is that. Yes. This other one, now this one, I've played this one to you before. I love Kirsty MacColl. And you know that there is absolutely no excuse needed to play Kirsty MacColl. So this is one that I've played before. And I think most people do know that this is a Kirsty song. But it was covered by Tracy Ullman, who... I don't know about a triple threat, but she's incredibly talented. She's a comedian, an actress, a writer. She also had a music career, very short music career. Not bad. I mean, it was more. There were kind of comedic songs, but she's very talented. And when she came back recently with a comedy show, how incredible is Tracy Ullman? I mean, really, it was her show that introduced The Simpsons. In case you don't know this, it was the Tracy Ullman show in America. She went to America, was very successful, having done Three of a Kind over here with David Copperfield, not that one, and Lenny Henry. She went to America, had her own show, and it was on the Tracy Ullman show, which was hugely successful, that The Simpsons was featured as the kind of pre-show. And it was thanks to Tracy Ullman that The Simpsons became successful. I mean, it was first featured on her show. There you go. If you didn't know that, you do now. Anyway, that was a very long introduction to a fantastic song. The thing that occurs to me is that Kirsty's voice, when she was with Stiff Records, hadn't quite come in yet, had it? It was, it was quite immature, but it got beautiful. I mean, she did have a lovely voice, and I loved the naive isn't the right word, but when people talk about art, they talk about naive art, don't they? And I think her voice sounds quite naive on that one. It's quite an early days one. Beautiful though. Loved Kirsty. Absolutely devastated when she died, and continue to be devastated every time I think about it. Gigs. Now, we've been talking about this gig forever, but it's actually happening tomorrow. Alvin Gibbs and the Disobedient Servants. I'd love that as a name. That's great. Supported by Charlie Harbour from the UK Subs and Criminal Mind. That's on at the Lewes Con Club tomorrow. £10 in advance. Tickets from Eventbrite, Punka Bunker, Brighton and Psy Sounds. Obviously, get them from Psy Sounds because, you know, he's a friend of the show and a fellow DJ here. So you'll get to see Lee Hegarty from Ruts DC, Jamie Oliver from UK Subs and Alvin Gibbs. Death and Glory are presenting this, and it's at the Con Club, so get on down there. The gig of the month is at the end of the month. Blues and bluegrass powerhouse John Crampton is a Lewes favourite with good reason. His ability to create an orchestra of sound as a solo artist is phenomenal, and his mastery of his instruments extraordinary. Expect to hear slide guitar, banjo and harmonica. Crampton's raw energy and joy in the music is infectious. A night watching this one-man blues explosion is guaranteed to have you on your feet and stomping those blues. And it's at the Lansdowne on Saturday the 28th. That's 8 p.m. and it's free. Come on. You get to see John Crampton for free. Not bad at all. I, however, am not going to be there because I have other plans that include being in a hotel by myself, getting some sleep. obviously other things too. So sorry I won't be joining you for that, but I'm sure you'll have a lovely time if you do go. Other stuff. So today you can go and see Tom Lewes at the Ellie. That's from 8pm at £8. The Reform Club, 60s covers and originals at the Lamb, 8:30pm, and that's free as well. Monday you can see Mark Cherry, Terry Seabrook and Alex Eberhard at the Snowdrop, as always, 8pm, and that's free. Friday the 13th is Zion Train. That's at the Con Club, 7:30, £15. Ska, Soul and a Touch of Rap, and that's at the Lamb. Giacomo, Ska, Soul and Touch of Rap at the Lamb, and that's 8:30pm, and that's free. The Zion Train gig is £15. You can get tickets from Psy Sounds, I believe. Yes, you can. That's Friday the 13th. Saturday the 14th, when I will be back here, but I'll tell you about it anyway. The Fish Brothers are going to be playing the Lansdowne for free, and that's Victorian Music Hall and punk rock. Weird combo, but, probably works brilliantly, I would imagine. Jeff Warner, folk and US traditional songs. Banjo, guitar, concertina. That's at the Ellie, 8pm, and that's £8. But I'll be with you again next week anyway, so I can tell you all about what's going on. I kind of committed to doing another month of pretty much every Saturday. I think there's one Saturday I'm not doing, only because I'm going to a one-day festival up in North London, and I need to be there for 1 o'clock, and I would struggle. I mean, I might change my mind. I might just go, yeah, why not? I'll go from here to there. But at the moment, I'm doing every Saturday except the 21st, and Ben is going to return. So we've swapped over. So Ben is now the guest presenter on a Saturday morning. And we'll try and drum up some more people. You never know, might work. We'll see what we can do. We'll see if we can get people who are good. You've got to be good enough to be here. You have to earn your stripes. That's what we're saying. So some movies and other events and listings that are going on for this month. Now, I mentioned this last week, and I'm going to try and pop down there for this because this sounds incredible. This is the Lewes Electric Car Show, featuring a wide range of pure electric and hybrid cars, and that's at Harvey's Brewery, the rear yard, 10:30 till 2:30. So I'm going to try and sort of hang out because there's a few things I want to do. I want to have a quick circuit of the Unity Centre. Also want to pop in and see a Lewes Electric Car Show. And they're going to have some hybrid cars, electric bikes and scooters, which sounds incredible. Now, I've had my eye on an electric scooter for a while, so my wish list. So next year I'm going to be 50. My wish list is an electric scooter. If you want to get me a Prezi, not an electric scooter, an electric bike. My wish list is an electric bike. So I know it's a big ask, but if you don't ask, you don't get, do you? Oh, it's 50. Come on, I'm going to be 50. So if you get down there today, you'll get to see some of them. So there are electric car enthusiasts bringing their cars along, and they're going to be electric and hybrid cars. So there'll be the Nissan Leaf, Teslas and BMWs. Who knew BMW did electric cars? There'll be bikes, scooters and motorbikes, and there'll be information on all related issues, local and national charging networks, innovations, running costs and savings, as well as the controversy around mining for lithium. The cars will be there with their proud owners, and there'll be around 15 to 20 cars on show. So if you're going to be down there later, I'll probably bump into you, Harvey's Brewery rear yard, and you can find out more about this and various other initiatives if you go to transitiontownlewes.org. So that's about the stuff that's going on. A couple of things going on today. It's busy, isn't it? Busy in Lewes. I'm going to post a picture on Instagram shortly that for me depicts how crazy and funny Lewes really is. But I'll play you another song. So I've heard some amazing covers of this song. There's one by June Tabor, which is a really melodic and kind of melancholy version of it. There's also an amazing version by what are they called now? Crikey, French band. Oh, wow. I've forgotten what they're called now. David Quantick hates them. I'll find out and I'll tell you. I played lots of their songs at our wedding, which doesn't really help you at all. So Love Will Tear Us Apart by Joy Division is the original. It's been covered quite a few times. When I remember the name of the French band, I will tell you afterwards. But this is, of course, the Ian Curtis vocal.
When routine lights fall
Nouvelle Vague. That's who they are, Nouvelle Vague. In possibly what should have been a almost a prelude of what was to come. The playlist of their songs included this. Oh dear. Yes, Nouvelle Vague. David Quantick is very critical of the Nouvelle Vaguisation of music, and how everything becomes bland and boring when Nouvelle Vague cover it, which is probably about right. But I quite like some of their stuff. It's all very... They sound like the Sundays on Mogadon. If you know who the Sundays are, that would make sense to you. If you don't, then that probably doesn't help. So I told you about the Unity Centre because I'm so blown away by it. I just think it's incredible. I also want to tell you about something else, which I'm really, really pleased about. And very proud to have a teeny tiny part in, actually, which is that Lewes FC have received recognition and an award for the work that they've done in equality. So they win the United Nations Award, a highly prestigious He for She award in recognition of the club's contribution to gender equality and particularly the importance of male allies since they launched the Equality FC campaign in 2017. And as they say on their Facebook page, we couldn't be prouder, and we invite all Lewes residents to come to our next Women's and Men's League matches as we celebrate the award. So that's tomorrow, Sunday the 8th, 2 p.m. kick-off, Lewes versus Crystal Palace, and that's the FA Women's Championship. And then Saturday the 14th of September, 3 p.m. kick-off, Lewes versus Potters Bar at the Isthmian Premier League. So proud to have even a tiny, tiny part to do with this. You probably know equality is my passion. Absolute passionate advocate for equality. Already had a row with someone on Facebook this morning about a comment she made that was incredibly racist, and she took the comment down. I honestly believe that if you don't challenge these negative behaviours and stereotypes, people just carry on. And it's okay to say that's not right. So to show that it is perfectly possible to pay men and women the same in sport is incredible. And to be able to do that and say, yes, we're going to lead the way on this, and there's no comeback from that. I mean, people made a bigger deal about a football club serving only vegan food than they did about Lewes FC paying men and women equally. That's incredible, isn't it? People were more obsessed with the fact that they couldn't get pies at half time than the fact that Lewes are paying men and women equally. It drives me mad. And there's a quote on the Facebook page as well that says, from Emma Watson as a UN Goodwill Ambassador, men, I would like to take this opportunity to extend your formal invitation. Gender equality is your issue too. Absolutely. Feminism doesn't just belong to women. It is also about male allies, and men are part of that story too. I'm very proud to say that I'm raising my sons to be feminists. It's very important that they understand that they will already have power because they're men. They don't have to ask for it. They will have it anyway. So yeah, very important. I wanted to share that because, you know, it's important to signpost these things. And Lewes, you should be very proud you have an equal paying football team. So I'll be telling you more about other stuff that's going on, including Downs Fest, which is today. Obviously, you know about the Unity Centre Open Weekend and about shows, and also about the gig I went to on Monday. So this is a funny kind of wraparound one, because I'm going to play this one now, which is by an artist that has been covered. And then later on, I'm going to play one which this artist has covered, if that makes sense. So this is the Pointer Sisters. This song was covered by a terrible girl band. I'm not even going to name check them. But their song was covered when it should have been the original that was featured in Love Actually, but it wasn't. It was covered by another band. So when you see Hugh Grant as Prime Minister leaping around number 10 dancing to this song, he's dancing to the wrong one. He should be dancing to this one by the Pointer Sisters, and of course it's Jump.
Tell me how you want me. I can feel it in your heart.
So in addition to the revelation that it wasn't the Pointer Sisters that he was dancing to, I now have to deal with the fact that Ben has never seen Love Actually. Doesn't surprise me that he's not seen Love Actually. Doesn't strike me that he's a Richard Curtis film kind of guy. But I now realise that half of my references are going to be lost when I talk to Ben. Ben's very kindly working in the background. He's the mechanics that makes things happen, especially when I'm on one of my brain fade days where I just don't get things right. But today I managed. So far, so good. Touch wood. So far, so good. If you haven't already, please do download the Warrior podcast, which is my new venture, hosted by the lovely people at Radio Lewes. At the moment, it's available on Spreaker. So if you go to radiolewes.org.uk, you can find the Warrior podcast. You can also find it on my Swazi Radio DJ page, and I've also shared it on Twitter. So you can have a listen to that. The first episode is about letting go. Future episodes will include anxiety and grief. I'm just in the process of firming up when I will record the one about anxiety, and I'm going to speak to someone at lovely St Peter's and St James's Hospice about the grief one. Talking of St Peter and St James, now today, if you are around and you fancy some great music and just some, having a great time in Sussex, I know, get down to Sussex for Downs Fest. Now this is the inaugural Downs Fest music festival. The headline act are Queen 2, a tribute band featuring, and also the whole thing is featuring numerous local artists offering a variety of music over 2 stages. So this is a big event. It's taking place today to raise funds for St Peter and St James's Hospice. So they've gone to a lot of trouble to get some. This is a very local kind of thing. So Jo, a friend and resident of Sussex, went along to Proms in the Park in 2009. She had the idea of bringing the music back to Sussex and at the same time raising some funds for St Peter and St James's Hospice. And so she came up with Downs Fest. So the first one is going to be very local. There's going to be lots of bands, instrumentalists, choirs, soloists. There's going to be a bar and street food on site. The online ticket sales are now closed, so I think you can buy them on the door. And it should be, I'm pretty sure you can get them on the door because the online sales have closed now as far as I can tell. So some of the artists that you can see. So there's the high energy band Overdrive performing tracks from Free, Led Zeppelin, Steppenwolf. Overdrive will have you dancing and singing along to classic rock tunes from days gone by. Overdrive members are from the village and the band are active in the local music scene. Downsfest Youth Choir, 50-strong youth choir set up solely to perform at Downsfest, comprising of Sussex children ages from 5 to 18 years. The Kraken Wakes, what a great name. The Kraken Wake even. We're a friendly bunch of guys who enjoy playing epic, uplifting pop covers from most eras. We enjoy what we do and we bring fun, positive vibe to any occasion. Obviously Queen 2, who are the lead act. Charlotte, a female vocalist with a bass guitarist, acoustic guitarist, drummer and electric guitarist as a backing. Charlotte features a mixture of covers including songs by Joan Armatrading, Fleetwood Mac, The Pretenders, The Cranberries and Katie Tunstall. Mike Reinstein. Mike's song take witty and wonderful snapshots of the world's follies and absurdities. He's a fine guitarist too, with a developed sense of absurd and a rich way with words. He also has the gift of swinging effortlessly between poignancy, edginess and wry humour. So you'll get to see loads and loads of very different kinds of artists if you get down there. Also including Nathan Reeve, 14-year-old singer-songwriter who's been busking in Brighton and London for the past 3 years. Thing of the Swamp are a teen 5-piece from Sussex and Hurst. Mockingbird, 4-piece cover band who perform rock songs. Bean and the Boys, 5-piece Indian alternative rock band. Stone Dark Night, technically competent, great explanation, technically competent semi-professional band. The way to damn yourself with faint praise there, guys. They do songs from The Verve, Primal Scream, Stereophonics, Oasis, U2, Foo Fighters, Kings of Leon and Radiohead. Just Sing are a ladies' choir originally founded by Sussex WI 10 years ago, now including members from the wider community. They cover a range of light popular music with the emphasis on singing for the fun and joy it gives. That sounds lovely. Cold Bones are an alt-rock band, confident 3-piece rock band from Sussex that play a mix of originals and covers. So get down to Ad Astra Park at Kemah Road in Sussex. No parking is provided at the event, so please do not drive there. The nearest train station is Sussex and it's a 10-minute walk down Kemah Road. So please don't drive, there is no parking. The event is all to raise money for St Peter and St James's Hospice, who are much loved in the local area. And as you know, I have a lovely relationship with St Peter and St James's Hospice, was chatting to them last year when we did a programme about bereavement and death and dying, because we had the event here. So the whole purpose of the hospice is to support, empower and care for people towards and at the end of life, providing expert and compassionate hospice care to adults living in Haywards Heath, Burgess Hill, Uckfield, Lewes and the surrounding villages. They also support families and friends through the challenges of bereavement and grief. So I'm going to do a podcast. I'm going to be doing the Warrior podcast in conjunction with them, talking about grief and bereavement. So and also next year, and I've probably mentioned this before, I'm going to be 50 next year. I know, I don't look it. It's unbelievable. You wouldn't think it. So one of the things I'm going to do, as I promised Mel when she came in, was I am going to do a fundraising event, something for St Peter and St James's Hospice. I did say at the time I'm not going to jump out of a plane. I think that's what she was suggesting I was going to do. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to jump out of a plane. I'll do something. And I heard something the other day where someone was doing 50 things in their 50th year. I think I could do that. I mean, if one of those things was to have coffee morning, that would be dead easy, wouldn't it? So 50 things. I mean, that's one a week. Is that doable? Probably. Maybe. Anyway, one of them's going to be for St Peter and St James's. So get down there, support the great cause, listen to some great music, have a drink, have some food. Don't drive. There you go. There's all the things you need to know. You know I love the Beatles. You know that I don't need an excuse to play the Beatles. So this is the perfect combination for me. This is a Beatles song that was covered by Susie and the Banshees. I love Susie and the Banshees. Susie Sue shares my birthday. She's like my birthday twin. Only she's much punkier and much cooler than me. So I had to choose this one as the original, which was covered by a very cool band.
You come out to play, dear Prudence, greet the brand new day. The sun is up, the sky is blue, it's beautiful, and so are you, dear Prudence. Won't you come out to play? Dear Prudence, open up your eyes. Dear Prudence, see the sunny sky. The wind is low, the birds will sing that you are part of everything, dear Prudence. Won't you open up your eyes? Look around, round. Look around, round, round. Look around. Dear Prudence, let me see you
Here's your news. In weather, right now in Lewes, it's 14 degrees Celsius with mostly cloudy skies. Today's forecast has intermittent clouds, with a high of 18 degrees and a low of 8 degrees. From BBC Sports News.
The latest BBC Sport update.
England have it all to do at Old Trafford to save the Ashes today. Ben Stokes and Johnny Bairstow will resume on day 4 of the fourth test with England 200 for 5, trailing Australia by 297 first innings runs. With the weather unlikely to save the hosts, former England captain Michael Vaughan says it's essentially a 3-wicket game.
It's down to this partnership in Bairstow and Stokes, and then Joss Buttler, who needs runs. He's had runs in Test match cricket, so he's not in the Jason Roy mould just yet, but he's had a series in a summer in Test cricket that's not been good for him.
TMS back on air from 10 with highlights. Play starts at 11. Rafael Nadal is 1 win away from being 1 Grand Slam away from Roger Federer. A win over Daniil Medvedev in the US Open final tomorrow could wrap up a 19th major title.
Of course, I would love to be the one who achieve more Grand Slams. But I still sleep very well without being the one who have more Grand Slams.
Well, Serena Williams could equal the women's record of 24 later. She plays Bianca Andreescu in the final. Wales boss Ryan Giggs says his side didn't stick to the game plan as they edged past Azerbaijan 2-1 at home in Euro 2020 qualifying. Scotland may be relying on that playoff place through the Nations League. They lost 2-1 to Russia at Hampden Park. At 5 this afternoon on 5 Live Sport, you can hear England against Bulgaria. There'll be a lot of interest in Gareth Southgate's team selection.
It's the hardest part for me. I have to pick a team and then disappoint over half the players I'm working with, so that's not so much fun. But they all understand that the team is the most important thing, and whichever team we pick, the rest are very strong, and they know that their opportunities will come as well.
Before that, the WSL season gets underway at 3. We've got commentary of Manchester City against Casey Stoney's Manchester United at the Etihad.
There should be no pressure on my team to win that game. There should be no expectation on my team to win that game. We've just been promoted. We're 14 months into a long journey. Man City are a fantastic team, have been winning trophies for the last 4 years. So, we go out there with no fear.
England prop Mako Vunipola will be out injured until the end of the Rugby World Cup pool stages. He's had a setback with his hamstring problem. He wasn't involved in the warm-up win over Italy last night. Ireland play Wales at 2. Dina Asher-Smith posted a season-best time to win the 100 metres at the Diamond League final in Brussels. The relegation fight in Super League is going to go down to the final day. London Broncos came from behind to beat Hull KR 2016. And the UFC lightweight world champion Khabib Nurmagomedov says, "My plan is to make him tired, make him tap." He faces interim champion Dustin Poirier in a title unification bout in Abu Dhabi later. It's Nurmagomedov's first fight following his ban for his part in the trouble that followed his win over Conor McGregor. And the Charlie Hills-trained Cardem heads the field for the big horse race of the day, the Group 1 Sprint Cup at Haydock. That's your latest from BBC Sport.
The latest BBC Sport update.
From BBC News.
Hi, it's Andrew here with the latest from the BBC. A group of MPs, including some rebel Conservatives, are thought to have assembled a legal team in anticipation of Boris Johnson's refusing to comply with a law compelling him to further delay Brexit. Mr Johnson has been adamant the UK will leave the EU at the end of October. The number of people now known to have died in the Bahamas as a result of Hurricane Dorian has risen to 43. Efforts are continuing to provide aid to survivors to find further victims of the storm on the islands. Here's David Willis.
Hundreds, maybe even thousands of people are missing there, and one official warned that the death toll could be, as he put it, unimaginable. The United Nations has warned that more than 70,000 people in the area are in urgent need of food and water.
Meanwhile, over in Los Angeles,
we join with the Centers for Disease Control to advise people to stop vaping now.
That's a warning from health officials after the death of a Los Angeles man thought to be linked to the use of e-cigarettes. Another 4 people in other parts of the US have also died after developing a mysterious lung disorder through vaping. Hundreds more have developed symptoms. Dr. Monta Davis is a health official in LA.
People are coming down with some shortness of breath, some cough, maybe fever. They could have nausea or vomiting, which rapidly progresses to a severe lung disease that is causing them to have to be hospitalized and receive respiratory support.
Schools here in the UK could be open during evenings, weekends and holidays to keep children safe and away from gangs. That's a proposal from the Children's Commissioner for England. And Longfield has also suggested posting designated police officers and security to every school to help combat violence. A plan to protect the Amazon River Basin has been agreed by 7 South American countries. They've set up a disaster response network and will work together on reforestation. More than 80,000 fires have broken out in the Amazon rainforest this year. And it's a good day to be in the business of spray tanning or marriage counselling, because tonight sees the return of Strictly Come Dancing. This year's lineup includes former footballers Alex Scott and David James, Olympic champ James Cracknell, broadcaster Annika Rice and comedian James Ramsey. And it all gets underway at 7:10. That's your latest. We'll have more later.
Toots and the Maytals and Pressure Drop. Yeah, Toots is still going. Yeah, he was interviewed on the radio earlier this year, I think. I was saying about the programme that was talking about death and dying. I think that was earlier this year. I don't think that was last year. I think it was earlier this year. So I'll have to find that actually somewhere and find all the people I spoke to about it. So Pressure Drop was covered by The Beat, or as they're known in America, the English Beat. I'm guessing that's because there was a band called The Beat in America as well. So they were called the English Beat. And they did a cover of that. And that's featured in a film I love called Grosse Pointe Blank. My words are coming out today. This is amazing. I think it may just be because I've just had a little bit of chocolate. So my brain's kicked in and just suddenly gone, yes. I've mentioned on social media the other day, I do talk about mental health on social media every now and again. I find it's quite useful. I don't talk about it necessarily in person. One of the things I dislike, it can't be helped because people are kind, is when people say, are you okay? And I sort of think, I kind of don't want to answer that question. I can't really answer that. I don't know what to tell you. But it's easier for me to just kind of go, this is where I am. And I've not been sleeping a lot lately. I have terrible insomnia. I always had very, very bad insomnia. And it comes and goes. But it's been particularly bad recently. So what it results in is that I'm in this kind of mindless state most of the time because I'm so incredibly tired and on the verge of sleep all the time. So I function, I can keep going, keep doing stuff, but I'm actually bone tired all the time. And but the wakefulness, the nighttime wakefulness, it's gone from being useless. So in the beginning, it was kind of, I can't even do rage cleaning or anything useful. It's now got to a point where I sort of think, okay, well, I'm awake now, so I might as well do something useful. So it varies. I might get up and sort of go, I think I'll go downstairs and do some yoga. Oh, I'll go and do some sorting out. Well, I'll go and do that and the other. So it's kind of getting to the useful stage. I don't know how long that will last for. I'm still in the process of, in terms of the house, the great purge, going through and getting rid of stuff. So I discovered that I have so many toys that my children are too old for. So piles of puzzles, which if they saw them, they would say, no, we want to keep them. But I'm not going to. I'm going to get rid of them because they're too old for them. So I'm thinking that, this wakefulness, this permanent state of zombification possibly will be useful to do things that don't require a lot of thought. I mean, just clearing stuff out and just filling bin bags with things doesn't require a huge amount of thought. Moving furniture, yes. So I am going to ask other people to come and help me do the heavy lifting because there's furniture that I need to move and, take out and stuff and just make the house a little bit neater. I'm always very envious when I go to other people's houses where I see how streamlined their life is and how they don't have nearly as much clutter. But then I do have an 8-year-old and a 5-year-old. Soon to be 9 and 6. So their stuff, but it isn't even their stuff that takes up all the space. I can't even blame them. It's because I own many, many CDs, many, many books, far too many shoes, not that there is such a thing, and just lots of everything. There are bookcases in every single room in my house. Kid you not, even in the corridors. There's just bookcases everywhere. Love books. Can't not have books. The idea, I remember sorting out my books last year and thinking, right, I need to get rid of some. I think in the end, there were 8 that got put in a box to get given away, and they still haven't left the house because I still can't part with them. I can't, books are like friends. I can't get rid of them. Music, even worse. I cannot get rid of music. So, wish me luck with the great purge of the house, getting rid of stuff. Now, I didn't know the title of this song for years. So I knew the song, but I didn't know it was called this. And then I heard it when I heard a kid playing it. So many people have covered Bob Marley over the years. I can't even think of the number of people who've covered this. But I just thought, I'll play this one because it's lovely. And now I know that the title is 3 Little Birds. That makes it even more beautiful. And you know why I didn't know the title of that song, don't you? Because, you know, you think you know. I think I know, and I don't. So on Monday, went to the Union Chapel in Upper Street in Islington to see Richard Jobson, who had been in the Skids and was also a TV presenter and a film producer and all sorts. Now lives in London. And he performed with 2 members of Big Country. He'd been friends with Stuart Adamson, and it was a nice evening actually, because it was an acoustic set of the songs that you know, but also he sort of chatted as well. So he answered questions from the audience, and it was just a really relaxed kind of cool evening. And the really nice thing, so I went with my friend Neil, as I've mentioned before, one of my oldest pals, and definitely the oldest gig mate that I have, as in the longest, not the oldest, as in age. There are people who are older than that who I go to gigs with. By a fair way. And we got there. I was sailing very close to the wind because there had been some road closures and stuff on the way there. But we got there, and the best thing was we got there and they had tea. You could get a mug of tea. And I just went, oh, yeah, tea, please. Sitting down, mug of tea, gig. I mean, I know that makes me incredibly middle-aged, but so what? I am middle-aged. And being able to sit in a church on a pew, drinking a cup of tea, listening to great music and listening to chat from a musician who you love next to one of your oldest friends. Great. Nothing better than that, is there? That was great stuff. And it's a beautiful venue. If you haven't seen the Union Chapel, have a look at my Swazi Radio DJ page. You'll see some photographs that I took within the chapel. It's an incredible venue. I mean, the sound, as you can imagine, is beautiful. And it really lends itself to an acoustic gig. But also, it's just very atmospheric. And I've previously seen the Idiot Bastard Band there, which is Adrian Edmondson, Phil Jupitus and Neil Innes, who were incredible. They were very, very good. And that was great fun. And I saw them a while ago. God, I think it was in January. Yeah, it must have been in January I saw them there. They were great. So I've been to see a few things there. And that was great. And I'm really, really glad I got to go to it. I mean, school night, a bit tricky. But yeah, very, very good stuff. And what I've got coming up, now I've told you about Eddie Izzard, who's going to be here. Got a few shows. Calendar Girls is coming up. The Exorcist. Now, I never knew The Exorcist had been on stage, but apparently it has. And another one called Murder, Margaret and Me, which sounds great. So as and when they come up, I will, of course, tell you about them. And I will give you information about them as well. I still can't get over the fact that the Unity Centre has got all these amazing things. I'm looking at all these packages they do and thinking, okay, so next time I'm here, could I possibly book to have a half-day treat, maybe? A sauna and a float? A 75-minute float. Oh, that sounds wonderful. An hour and 45 minutes. Oh, yeah. Oh, that sounds good. I hope they do vouchers. I'm going to start saying to everybody, give me vouchers for the Unity Centre, please. That's what I want. I just posted a thing on Facebook. You can do Facebook stories. And I've put, material things don't matter to me. No, material things don't matter to me. But being able to do stuff requires material matter, i.e. money. So stuff like, I also posted something earlier this week, which was the most incredible image of Home Park, which is out the back of where I work. I work at Hampton Court Palace. I thought, I was having one of those days where I just thought, I haven't left my desk yet. So I thought, I'll just go and I'll just spend 10 minutes in the gardens. And I went and I found a space because I find sky and sea soothing. And there isn't sea, but there's Home Park and it's got water. It's got a body of water in it. So I thought, I'm not just going to walk through the gardens and kind of keep moving. I'm going to sit and I'm going to breathe and I'm going to take it all in and I'm going to tune out the extraneous sounds and I'm just going to look at what's around me. And there's a mindfulness exercise where you, if you need to calm, if you're in the middle of an anxiety or a panic state, you think about something you can see, something you can hear, something you can touch, something you can taste. And it's something you can do with children if they're having an anxiety attack or a panic attack. And it just focuses the mind. And I thought, I'm going to do that. I'm going to think about something I can see, something I can feel, something I can hear. And it was incredible. And when I looked back at the photograph I took, the sky is blue, bluer than anything I've ever seen. It's symmetrical, which really matters to me. I know it shouldn't. There's a reflection on the water of the sky, and it's just really peaceful. And I thought, wow, this is great. And in that moment of not feeling great, I found some space, and I found some peace, and I found some calm. And I thought, wow, this is big. This is something I can do. I mean, it's only 5 or 10 minutes out of my day. And I was talking to one of the other mums who was rushing on the tram to go and pick our kids up after school. And I said, sometimes you just need to get away for 10 minutes. And she said, you know what, I'm going to do that tomorrow. And I think if we just have this little chain reaction where we just remind each other that you don't need an hour to meditate. Sometimes you just need 10 minutes. And if you give yourself 10 minutes, that can just rejuvenate you enough to get you through what you need for the rest of the day. That's my little nugget for you. But as I say, I'm going to be doing more on my other podcast about things like that. I'm going to do one about self-care as well. But if you haven't already, do listen to the Letting Go one, and I will share a link to that again. So many covers of this song, I think. You will have heard the one that was in the film Shrek, I think. It's been in loads of things. I had no idea that Carole King had written for the Monkees. So we've already had the Beatles earlier, we're now having the Monkees. They usually go together, don't they? So the Monkees had their own TV show. Carole King and Jerry Goffin got the gig to write songs for them. And it kind of paid for their house and, put their kids through school and stuff. And, she's not negative about it at all. She is very grateful for the opportunity to do it. So some of the songs that they wrote are just so pretty. And this is one of those.
7A.
What number is this, Chip?
7A.
Okay, no, don't get excited, man. It's because I'm short, I know.
Oh, I could hide 'neath the wings of the bluebird as she sings. The 6 o'clock alarm would never ring, but it rings and I rise, wipe the sleep out of my eyes. My shaven razor's cold and it stings. Cheer up, sleepy Jean. Oh, what can it mean to a daydream believer and a homecoming queen? You once thought of me as a white knight on his steed. Now you know how happy I can be. Oh, and our good time starts and ends without $1 to spend. But how much, baby, do we really need? Cheer up, sleepy Jean. Oh, what can it mean to a daydream believer and a
And obviously always had a thing for Davy Jones, little Davy Jones. Although I quite liked Peter Tork. I thought Peter Tork was crazy but fun. He always struck me as being quite ethereal. I loved the Monkeys TV show. It was great. It used to be on a Saturday morning, and they didn't make many episodes, but the ones they made I must have seen about 1 million times because they did have them on all the time, the same few. It was a great show. Loved it. Now I played Nancy Sinatra last week as well, I think, or in the movie show, whichever one was the movie show, and I think, again, this is one that's been covered by a lot of people, but I do think Nancy does it best.
You keep saying you got something for me, something you call love, but confess you've been a messin' where you shouldn't have been a messin', and now someone else is getting all your best. These boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. One of these days these boots are gonna walk all over you. Yeah. You keep lying when you ought to be truthin', and you keep losing when you ought to not bet. You keep saying when you ought to be a-changin'. Now what's right is right, but you ain't been right yet. These boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. One of these days these boots are gonna walk all over you. You keep playing where you shouldn't be playing, and you keep thinking that you'll never get burned. Ha! I just found me a brand new box of matches, yeah. And what he knows you ain't had time to learn. These boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. One of these days these boots are gonna walk all over you. Are you ready, Boots? Start walking.
I was going to roll straight into the next song, but I thought, no, I'm going to give you my dulcet tones instead. Because obviously that's what you want. You want my dulcet tones, don't you? I just got in contact with the Unity Centre, actually, to ask if someone can come in and talk to us about what they're doing, because I think it sounds great. It sounds absolutely great. So, did you watch Scarborough last night? It's funny. I don't always share things about TV, but I thought, yeah, because it sounded great. And also... Jason Manford was on a lot of telly last night, and I watched him in that because I love him. I actually love Jason Manford a lot. I think he's a lovely man. He's a good guy. So let me tell you about some stuff for kids. I'm losing the plot. I can hear it in my own voice. I can hear myself losing the plot as I speak. But, you know, let's hang in there. We've only got half an hour to go. We can do this, guys. We can do this. So today... at the Devonshire Park Theatre in Eastbourne, you can see the Sooty and Friends show. Join Sooty and his gang for fun, mischief and magic in their live show for all the family, plus a chance to meet Sooty and Richard after the show. Now, I've taken my kids to this. I promise you will not be disappointed. Do you know the most excited person when we went to meet Sooty after the show was not the children. It was one of the parents, and I'm not going to tell you who it was. But no, we got to meet Richard after the show, and Sooty and Sweep and Sue Tickets are £12. It's a lovely show. I mean, it takes you right back to your childhood if you're my age. And if you are a child, then, you know, it is your childhood. So there you go. It's Medieval Weekend at Mitchell and Priory. Living history camps, displays, archery, medieval traders and entertainment. That's from 10:30 till 5. You can find out more about going to sussexpast.co.uk. And next weekend is the Into the Trees Festival from Friday the 13th to Sunday the 15th. That's at Pippingford Park in Nutley. Camping fun for all the family, organised by So Sussex. And you go to into-the-trees.co.uk to find out more about that. And it says you can find out more about that on page 89. So I'm going to go to page 89 now so I can tell you about it. Bear with me, caller. Yes, Into the Trees, Back into the Wild. So Sussex was set up 10 years ago with one question in mind. How do you get families to spend more time outdoors? So this is one of the ways they're doing it. So they set up Elderflower Fields 8 years ago. Festivals are great, a brilliant way of getting a lot of families out doing a lot more together. And Into the Trees is the second So Sussex festival that's going into its 5th year. It's small, it's quiet, it's around woods and focusing on the environment and habitat, which sounds brilliant. That sounds lovely, lovely, lovely. And they have excellent food. They pick small local vendors, and they have coffee from the Grey Earl. Manjula provides Asian and vegan dishes, and the pizza wagon does the best traditional stone-baked pizza. So it all sounds brilliant. In the evening, from 5 till 6, the site closes for the night, and around 1,500 to 2,000 people spend the night there camping. They have a small camp. They have a central campfire, a small stage for singer-songwriters and storytellers, and it's quite, as Nigel Greenwood, the founder of it, says, it's grassroots, doing what we love best, creating an atmosphere, and doing most of what work ourselves. Into the Trees is very special for us. And Nigel tells us that the Outcomes Council have funded it for 2 more years to create and co-create the So Sussex School Without Walls art trail. So if your children fancy being part of that, get into the Trees. So, get down to Pippingford Park in Nutley, 13th to 15th of September. Go online to find out more about how you can participate and do the camping. I don't do camping. I genuinely have no interest in camping. Anything that involves roughing it is not for me. I'm very much a comfort kind of person. I'm not saying I need luxury, but comfort. Now, I've stayed in places where there's only been cold water to wash your hair. No thanks. No thanks. I mean, I will swim in the sea in the cold, but only because I know I can have a hot shower afterwards. I know, bit of a diva. Sorry, that's just how it is. Let me tell you about Lewes October Feast 2019. So October Feast events. So this is the whole of October, where you can go to all sorts of things that are going on. You can go to lewesoctoberfeast.com. I'll get in touch with them and ask them if somebody wants to come in and talk to us about it. So it includes the North Indian Cookery Workshop, Feast in the Forest, Burger Festival, street food market, a Turkish vegetarian cookery workshop, Gennaro Contaldo in conversation with Ollie Smith. Wow, Gennaro, who was featured a lot in the Jamie Oliver programmes in the beginning. Fantastic Italian chef. Pickles and Chutneys Cookery Workshop, Cook Together Support by Tina's Kitchen, a Soulfit Yoga Supper Club. Right, that's in my diary. That sounds wonderful. Pop-up wine tastings on the riverside. House tour and lunch at Farley's house, Farley Farm. A patisserie workshop and a secret supper club. So it all sounds brilliant. There's loads and loads of stuff. I'm going to get in touch with October Feast and find out if we can talk to any of these guys and get them to come in and talk to us. But I have to say, the Soulfit Yoga Supper Club on Saturday the 26th of October sounds brilliant. But I've just remembered, I think we're going to be away that week. So maybe won't happen. Anyway, I told you I was going to play you lots of stuff that people have covered. And I wasn't lying. Now, I earlier played you the Pointer Sisters, who have been covered, but equally they've covered this song, but I'm playing the Bruce Springsteen original that the Pointer Sisters covered. I know, complicated. If your brain's as woolly as mine today, it probably won't make sense. Just enjoy the song. Do you know, it would help if I played the right one, and I didn't play the right one, so I'm going to play you a different one. Paloma Faith covered this, and I'll find the right song so you can listen to Never Tear Us Apart.
Don't ask me what you know is true. Don't have to tell you I love your precious heart. I was standing, you were there. Two worlds collided, and they could never tear us apart. We could live for 1,000 years, but if I hurt you, I make wine from your tears. I told you that we could fly, 'cause we all have wings, but some of us don't know why. I was standing, you were there. Two worlds collided, and they could never, ever tear us apart. I was standing, you were there. Two worlds collided, and they could never tear us apart. You were standing, I was there. Two worlds collided, and they could never tear us apart. I was standing.
I was obsessed with Michael Hutchence. I really was. I was totally in love with him. I was gutted that Paula got to him before I did. It's like at the moment I've got this whole thing about... I used to be convinced that if George Clooney ever came over here, before he was married to Amal, obviously, if George Clooney ever came over here and I would get together and we would get married and we would live together and we would be happy. And I've now that he's married to Amal, I've and also he's older. So I've now got my... I'm looking to get my mitts on John Hamm instead. You know, everyone likes a bit of John Hamm. Thing is, in Bridesmaid, he plays the real git of a character. I mean, to be honest, he plays a kind of character that I've pretty much been attracted to my whole life. I don't think he's like that in real life. I think he's nicer than that in real life. But yeah, so I'm thinking John Hamm. John Hamm is my aspiration for my future. I'm thinking that John and I would make a perfect couple. Years ago, I used to think that Michael Hutchence and I would be perfect together. Turns out we probably wouldn't have done. But John and I think we have a future, definitely. I think if you see him, tell him. And, you know, we'll make a beautiful life together, me and him. I don't see why he would disagree with that. He'd be mad not to, wouldn't he? He'd be mad not to want to be with me. Idiot. Anyway, I found the right song. So this is really... So, Bruce, don't have two songs that sound the same in the title. I know you've made a lot of songs, but, you know, you can choose different words. So this is the right song that I meant to play for you.
I'm driving in my car, I turn on the radio, I'm pulling you close, you just say no, say you don't like it, but girl I know you're a liar, 'cause when we kiss
Late at night, I'm taking you home. I say I wanna stay, you say you wanna be alone. You say you don't love me, but you can't hide your desire. When we kiss, you got a hold on me right from the start. A grip so tight I couldn't tear it apart. Nerves all jumping, acting like a fool. Your kisses they burn, but your heart stays cool. Romeo and Juliet, Samson and Delilah. You can't bet their love they couldn't deny. Your words say split, but your words say a lie. When we kiss, I'm fire, fire. You got a hold on me right from the start. A grip so tight I couldn't tear it apart. Nerves all jumping, acting like a fool. Your kisses they burn, but your heart stays cool. Romeo and Juliet, Samson and Delilah. You can't bet their love they couldn't deny. Your words say split, but your words say a lie. When we kiss, I'm fire, fire,
It was worth waiting for the right one, wasn't it? There you go. Thanks, Bruce. Covered by the Pointer Sisters. With a slight change of emphasis. You know how sometimes they change from boy to girl. I was listening to a podcast the other day, a brilliant podcast called The Guilty Feminist. If you get a chance, have a listen. And they were talking to a female rap artist, and she was saying how she'd written a song to a woman. She's gay, so she'd written a song to a woman. And her record company had changed the lyrics so that she was now singing it to a boy. And she said that she kind of basically responded to this and just said, no, you're not doing that. I just thought, are we still living in that day and age? Is that really still happening? That I'm shocked and horrified by that. I've got two more songs to play you before the end of the show. One of them is a song that has been covered, and one of them is just a song I want to play you, which probably has been covered, but this is the one that's been covered, I know for sure. Henry Nielsen, loads of songs that have been covered, but this is the one that you'll know because you will have heard this covered, of course. Everybody's talking.
Everybody's talking at me. I don't hear a word they're saying, only the echoes of my mind. People stopping and staring, I can't see their faces, only the shadows of their eyes. I'm going where the sun keeps shining through the pouring rain, going where the weather suits my clothes, banking off of the northeast winds, sailing on summer breeze, and skipping over the ocean like a stone. Like a stone. Everybody's talking at me.
Everybody's talking at me. Best known for being from Midnight Cowboy, the movie. Yeah, and that's been covered, I think, by male and female vocalists. So I certainly know that I've heard it as a cover. So I'm going to finish up, as I often do, with a track by Prince, mostly because I love Prince and I can't imagine why anybody wouldn't want to finish with a Prince track. And I think every day should include a little bit of Prince. That's my life philosophy. Have a fantastic week. I'll be back with you next week. Whatever you do this weekend, enjoy it. If you're celebrating, enjoy your celebrations. And yeah, I'll be back with music. Follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Facebook. Chat to me, talk to me, tell me what you're doing. Let's do this thing.
I never meant to call you in your sorrow. I never meant to call you in your pain. I'm the one who wants to see you laughing. I only want to see you laughing in the purple rain. Purple rain, purple rain. Purple rain, purple rain. Purple rain, purple rain. Only want to see you bathing in the purple rain. I never wanted to be your weekend lover. I don't want to be some kind of friend. Hey. Baby, I could never steal you from another. It's such a shame our friendship had to end. Purple rain.
Austin for a worldwide audience.